After having good success with recovering the stock seat, next project is I'm going to work on this saddleman. I do not like the top part of it. I just don't like the looks. The gel in here really didn't do much for me either. So I bought the seat. We're going to take it apart and see what we can do with it. Hopefully I can reuse the boxing. Should be able to trim it back and re-sew it. Do have to drill out the rivets to get it off there. But worst comes to worst, we'll end up with the seat pan for another project. But right now I'm going to take it apart and see what I can do. I got to say the Saddleman sure came apart a lot easier than the Harley one. They did not have it glued together. The cover, just drilled the rivets out. Took it out. They have plastic film on that to keep water out of it. The problem was that this gel, this top gel piece, soaked up water like crazy. So I'd wash it, set on it, and get a wet ass. But I think what I'll do is get the seam ripper out, see if I can't pull this gel pad out. I'm thinking I should have took the Saddleman apart first. Because that right there is a nice looking seat pan. Foam's all ready to go. Just should have built the cover for that. Would save building up the other one. But then I wouldn't have gotten any valuable experience. So we'll try to see what we can come up with on this. I do need to take the foam off of the pan because I've got to get the other piece of the rivet out of inside. But other than that, that one would be ready to build a cover for. A nice cover. So, okay, carefully cut around the boxing, took the top plate out. Not really impressed with this. Well, I wasn't impressed with this to start with. This stuff, it was sold as a gel cover. And I mean, the problem with that, I cut it open. That's not gel, that's just a different kind of foam. And the problem with this seat was that when you sat on it, the instant you sat on it, it felt pretty good, but then it squishes down and there's just nothing. It's just gone. So it wasn't very comfortable. I mean, it was better than stock, but not by much. So I'll stick that on the seat, see what I've got to work with. See if I can just make a new top plate or if I need to make new boxing too. Well, I have a plate stitched in there. It is by no means perfect, as that was a lot of sewing around corners and trying to get that flap underneath. I had to cut the front a little bit to redo it, so that's a little butchered right there. But that'll go under the back edge of the tank. So, let's say I'm still learning. I'll see what this looks like stretched on there. See if it's decent at all. There is lots of room for improvement, but for learning purposes, this wasn't too bad. I've just got it put on there with some Cleco since it was riveted. And I don't think I'm going to go ahead and staple this one on. I'm just practicing, but top stitch, got to make sure to pull that tight because I got a little bulge here. A bit of puckering there. Did better on this side. Gotta keep that straight. You put that one edge up along the edge of the presser foot and run it around. That's a long ways to keep something straight. But I think what I'm gonna do is probably pull that back off and just try to make another one like this, but just out of all new material. Because this, the boxing, being that it was already been on there, it made it pretty hard to sew because it was kind of wadded up. And make the top plate a little smaller. Since I had cut the boxing back, I had to make this wider. But have the top plate come in more like here. We'll see that. I've got enough material to make a whole nother, one more complete seat cover. So I'll just keep practicing until I get something I really like. And once I get something I really like, I'll swab them out, take this one back off, and redo it. I'll probably just keep swapping them back and forth until I'm more satisfied with my sewing skills. But man, I do love that sewing machine. And who would have thought that I enjoy sewing? It's weird.